$200,000 a year sounds rich, and by income, it is. But a high income is not the same thing as a strong cash position. Put 2 working parents, 2 young children, and 1 high-cost city behind that number. Then subtract taxes, childcare, health coverage, housing, transport, and debt. The number left is not $200,000. In the model we are about to open, it is $1,104 a month. Before repairs, before travel, before a medical surprise. So where did the margin go? First, the correction most videos skip. This household is not poor. It has income, access to credit, and the ability to change more things than a household living near the median. This file is not comparing inconvenience with poverty. It is examining a different condition, high income with low monthly flexibility. Our household is illustrative, 2 earners, married, 2 young children, a high-cost metro, combined gross income, $200,000. The question is not whether every family spends this way. The question is whether a defensible set of ordinary obligations can compress a large salary into a surprisingly small margin. Open the ledger. Receipt 1 is the difference between salary and spendable income. In 2026, the standard deduction for a married couple filing jointly is $32,200. Federal tax then applies across brackets. Payroll tax applies to wages. Social Security alone takes 6.2% from the employee up to the applicable wage base, and Medicare continues across earnings. State and local taxes depend on where the household lives. For this stress test, we assign $42,000 to federal, payroll, and a simplified state and local component. It is an estimate, not a tax return. Credits, deductions, and geography can move it materially. $200,000 becomes $158,000. That is the first distinction. The headline salary is a price paid by the employer. The household lives on what survives the payroll system. Now remove another $24,500, the 2026 employee contribution limit for one 401k participant. But do not call that money gone. That is the mistake. Taxes are an outflow. Retirement contributions are an asset transfer. The household still owns the money, but future ownership does not pay this month's childcare bill. After taxes and retirement, the household has $133,500 of current year cash capacity, plus an asset quietly growing in the background. This is why a household can be building wealth and still feel short of cash. The balance sheet and the checking account can tell different stories. Then come 2 costs that barely appear in the salary conversation. Childcare Aware of America reports a 2025 national average annual childcare price of $13,184. Prices vary dramatically by age, setting, and location. For 2 children, our model rounds the pressure to $26,400. Then family health coverage. KFF's 2025 employer survey found that workers contributed an average of $6,850 toward family premiums. That is before many deductibles, co-pays, and uncovered services. Together, childcare and the employee premium remove $33,250. The remaining current year cash is now approximately $100,250. Still substantial, but we have not paid for a place to live. Now the model becomes local. Housing is $42,000 a year, $3,500 a month. That is an assumption for a high-cost metro, not a national average. Transportation, $16,000 for 2 workers who must reach 2 jobs. Food, $14,000. Utilities, phones, and internet, $6,000. Student loans, $9,000. After those lines, the household has $13,250 unallocated for the year, $1,104 a month. That remainder still has to absorb clothing, school costs, home supplies, gifts, medical bills, repairs, insurance deductibles, family travel, and every expense that refuses to arrive on schedule. The salary is large, the margin is not. So is this household broke? Not in the ordinary meaning of the word. It earns more than most households. It is contributing to retirement. It has options. The accurate diagnosis is narrower. The household is income-rich, asset-building, and cash flow fragile at the same time. A car repair does not destroy its net worth, it destroys that month's margin. A medical deductible does not erase the salary, it forces the family to stop saving, use credit, or delay another goal. And this is not merely a thought experiment about lavish spending. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported average annual expenditures of more than $150,000 among consumer units in the highest income quintile in 2024. High spending at high income is observable. The important question is, what portion is chosen, what portion is temporary, and what portion is structurally fixed? The useful response is not shame, it is classification. Move 1. Separate money consumed from money still owned. Retirement contributions and mortgage principal are not the same as taxes, fees, or interest. Your cash flow may be tight while your net worth is improving. Measure both. Move 2. Identify simultaneous peaks. Childcare, student loans, and early career housing costs can overlap for a few brutal years. A temporary peak needs a runway and a date. A permanent lifestyle expansion needs a decision. Move 3. Calculate the fixed cost ratio using take-home pay, not gross salary. Housing, childcare, minimum debt payments, insurance, and essential transport arrive before preference. The higher that ratio, the less useful the headline salary becomes. Move 4. Protect liquidity deliberately. The exact reserve depends on job security, health, dependents, and professional advice. But a household that owns retirement assets and cannot absorb one irregular bill has a timing problem worth solving. This is general financial education. Adapt the model to your actual taxes, benefits, and obligations with qualified tax and financial professionals. $200,000 is still a high income, but the number is not a balance sheet and it is not a monthly budget. Once taxes, asset building, and fixed obligations are separated, the mystery becomes visible. This household did not lose $200,000. It lost flexibility. Which line would change the most in your city? Housing, childcare, health coverage, or taxes? Put that one line in the comments. Next, we open the inflation paradox. If inflation is falling, why are your prices still high? That is the next file.